And there's some other good news in criminal justice.
Which is rare.
Which is very, very rare. Attorney General Eric Holder is going to speak today, actually, to the American Bar Association. And he's going to announce that the federal government is going to put in place new rules against mandatory minimums for nonviolent drug offenses. We all know that this is the byproduct of a lot of drug laws in the 80s, is the really mass incarceration of nonviolent drug offenders, which is one of the reasons, well, probably the prime reason why the United States is, I think, the per capita, it might even just be in raw numbers, the highest incarcerator in the world. And obviously, there's massive racial implications, massive economic implications to that. And this is one of the rare areas where there has been some convergence between liberals in the Senate, guys like Patrick Leahy and Dick Durbin, and to give credit where credit is due, libertarians like Rand Paul and the Cato Institute have been agitating against mandatory minimums and just the explosion and systemic imprisoning of nonviolent offenders. So Holder said, these are in pre-released statement of what he'll say to the Bar Association today. While aggressive enforcement of federal crime statutes remains necessary, we cannot simply prosecute or incarcerate our way to becoming a safer nation. He called mandatory minimum sentences. He would call mandatory minimum sentences draconian. He went on to say, this is another really key stat that he's quoting in his speech. This is also from Holder's remarks. While the entire U.S. prison population has increased about a third since 1980, the federal population has grown at an astonishing rate, almost by 800%, Holder's speech says. It's still growing despite the fact that federal prisons are operating at nearly 40% above capacity. Even though this country compromises just 5% of the world's population, we incarcerate almost a quarter of the world's prisoners. So we'll see what the specifics are, obviously. I think we know enough with the Obama administration and with policies like this that we should take a trust but verify approach. But this is really, really encouraging news and speaks volumes to the grassroots work that prison activists, human rights activists have been really working on for decades. And we went through a couple of evolutions of this, obviously. You know, there was a time some of the worst, most draconian criminal justice legislation ever signed into law was signed by President Clinton in the 1990s. It was a very bipartisan path of putting more and more people, and mostly minorities, into prison. And thankfully, it seems at least the tide is beginning to turn. So that's good news.